We're sitting here in Macau, an occupied building which is run by Assembly. They also look to change the laws in Italy for what unoccupied buildings can be used for, so that it can go to local community. So in that sense, it's instead of these things sitting unused, and local communities where lots of people maybe don't have jobs, which starts to be the case, they can actually start to build their centres and in a way build a new economy through whatever they can use the places for. Of course, like the Dirty Art Department, which is the let's say the project where all the students come from to make this project, the Wandering School, took reference to the history of radical schools, and we can say from Steiner, Bauhaus, Global Tools, of course, which refers to heavily in the radical design, Black Mountain College, Mountain School of Art, which is this contemporary school in Los Angeles, which is run in a bar with a zero budget, from Piero Gollier, fantastic project. So we can say this: here you are in a zero situation. There's no law here. This is a legal place. This is radical, if you like. Modernism was a Gesamtkunstwerk, and we finished in two positions on the Gesamtkunstwerk. One we can say was Nazi Germany, like extreme fascism. I mean, Albert Speer, all of this is the Gesamtkunstwerk. As was communism as well. I mean, it was the search in communist Russia, the art, design, production, everything was looking to hold together. And so when I say modern, and I use non-Gesamt Kunstwerk, is how do you make a non-total artwork? Because if the work is total, you will lead to totalitarianism. But still, if we don't look at a total picture, we're just faced with a kind of rampant problem of individualistic capitalism, which this is not a lefting ranting. I mean, we just see the problems. If you don't look after what happens with how property works, with how the banking and the financial system works, I mean, the capitalism's wish that it would just work unsustained just failed. In the Wandering School, you can see that we've got a living, we've got an economy, because we have the bar, the parties, we have a hotel, we have a pizza oven outside. We have things which can make an economy for us. So there's also an example of this non-Gesamt. So we are trying to make an alternative. I mean, of course, this is I wouldn't call it an experiment, because that's the wrong word. It is a piece of work. You have to see this as not as one whole artwork, which is every failure and every success is part of the same thing. Actually, what is the job of a designer? Let's say what is the role of a car manufacturer like Opel, for example? Is it to make cars to go from A to B, or is it to support the wages of 40,000 workers in an economical system? I mean, at the end of the day, there's two base things, like that property is one thing and human work is the other thing. And at the moment in the world, we can go to the root of that, so we get back to radical. The base work of digging a piece of coal or a piece of rock out of a mine, pretty much it takes the same work as me here, someone in China, someone in Australia. Like this is the base work. Why is it possible on this planet today to have me being worth 1,000 times more than a person over there for this just this base work? This is a real problem of the economy. A project that I built last year in the mountains in Switzerland for Kunsthalle Glarus, it's called Extra National Assembly, is also in a base was to say, okay, what could a society be beyond the concept of nation? And we have some definite things which are important. Already capitalism is beyond the idea of nation. So until the social starts to get beyond and be capable to function beyond the idea of nation, so for sure we need a global tax. It cannot be that people can just run off here. And the fact that I can't vote for who's going to be the president of the United States is ridiculous. He has so much effect on my life, So it's not democratic, yeah. The works before, I made a series of works called Scum, which basically were about having no relationship to anything but itself. So this was the first liberation of the design project from moral, industry, taste, anything. Once I exhausted that necessity for the zero situation, I made the living systems. The living system exhibition was about the relationship of the individual to himself, just to survive. So I actually produced a whole living setup made from potato starch plastic. So the exhibition had the potatoes, it had the sand molds, it had the little factory for making this bioplastic and all the furniture to live in. And so it was a kind of, let's say, representation of a kind of project that holds itself together. I have this kind of phrase which is the everytopia. Which kind of means about just dealing with, it's like dealing with the here, now and easily available. You don't need the megastructure. It's just like, okay, you need the life, bum, bum, bum. We don't have to forget about the efficiency of what the modern, what's the word I'm looking for? The rationality of modernism brings. You know, when you need a tube to get the water, you look at the most efficient way to do it. It's just that we don't need the megastructure, so we, in a sense, make much closer distance between the production and the life. 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 The production and the life.